Welcome to Shift 4 in this video comparing Sony's PMW-300, the PMW-200 and Canon's XF305. All of these cameras shoot 1920 by 1080 with the MPEG-2 codec, which is 50 megabits per second, 422 sampling with 8-bit recording. This is the minimum required quality for HD broadcast. However, the XF305 doesn't qualify with all broadcasters, whereas the other two do with everyone. This is down to the sensor size. All the cameras have 3 HD CMOS sensors. The XF305 has 3rd-inch sensors, and the 200 and 300 have larger half-inch sensors. Officially, to qualify for HD broadcast, a camera should have at least a half-inch sensor. That's why the XF305 falls short for some broadcasters. Also, with larger sensors, the 200 and 300 benefit from slightly shallower depth of field and better performance in low light. The PMW-200 and XF305 both have fixed lenses. Both have relatively wide irises, however the XF305 has a larger range than the 200. The XF305 has an 18x zoom, whereas the 200 and 300 have a 14x zoom. So when we look at their 35mm equivalent values, due to the XF305's smaller sensor gives it a much larger range. All the cameras achieve relatively the same wide shot, but the XF305 is 100mm longer than the other two. The PMW-300 on the other hand has an interchangeable lens, and with the use of an ACM21 adapter allows for any B4 mount lens to be used, which are much better lenses quality wise and makes the PMW-300 more flexible than the other two. The XF305 uses compact flash cards to record to, and the 200 and 300 both use Sony's S/S cards. The Sony S/S cards are more reliable, as when they do fail, Sony have virtually always been able to recover the data. They have no exposed pins and physically can't go in the camera the wrong way. Compact flash cards on the other hand are less reliable and could be put in the camera the wrong way, possibly breaking the camera itself. However, they are much cheaper than S/S cards. Something else to note is that with the XF305, you get 15 minutes more recording time on a 32GB card than on the 200 and 300, all shooting at 50 megabits per second. The XF305 and the PMW-200 are almost the same in terms of body and operation. All switches and buttons are in similar places. Both use a flip-out LCD and rear viewfinder and are supposed to be held from the wrist. The PMW-300 on the other hand has the same LCD viewfinder available for the F5 and the F55. This has a higher quality image than the other two, and with a viewfinder housing means it's usable in sunlight. The PMW-300 is heavier than the other two cameras, which makes holding it from the wrist more difficult. It has a fold-out shoulder pad, but being positioned so far back makes it almost useless. However, with a proper viewfinder in place and the ability to mount ENG lenses, with the right shoulder pad plate, the PMW-300 can quickly become a very usable shoulder-mounted camera. Even though they all shoot the same compression rates, the Sony cameras with their larger sensors can produce better images and are better in low light. The XF305 on the other hand has more affordable media and it has a better lens range than the 200 and 300 standard lens. However, the PMW-300 has the best advantage with its option to change lenses for better quality and range, making it by far the most flexible camera. For more information or to hire any of these cameras, please contact Shift 4.